Hello everyone, this is Captain Roy Lovat, and today we are going to play Warhammer 40,000 Legacy of Dorn, Herald of Oblivion, a game that was gifted to me by Roby, that I thanks a lot, because I wasn't aware of this game about the universe of Warhammer 40,000. It came out in 2015, and it is an adventure, a digital game book adapted from the Jonathan Green books, so should be very good. I played a lot with the adventure books when I was younger. I never played one of a digital book adventure. There are also combats in this game, so it's not just reading. And we are going to act as a space marine of the Imperial Fists Chapter, so it's going to be very interesting. If you like this kind of games, you can buy this one on Steam, of course. There is, as always, the link down in the description with all the others useful link to support the channel. So once again, I want to thank Roby for this great gift, and let's now dilly-dally and let's play Legacy of Dorn, Herald of Oblivion. This is the very first artwork of the game, very nice indeed. Let's click. And there will be a lot of reading, so have mercy on my English. This data has already been read once. Select difficulty. Okay, I guess it's hard, medium, easy. You are a veteran space marine of the highest order. You have been involved in many campaigns and board Herald of Oblivion with abilities and skills befitting your rank and experience. You begin the adventure with 25 wounds, 5 purity points, 10 save states, and you are equipped with a storm bolter, power fist, and combat knife. You also begin with 4 clips of bolter ammunition, so we are going to have ammunition, okay, with each clip containing 20 bolt shells. This setting is recommended for experienced Astartes who previously blooded the Herald of Oblivion more than once. So, what I noticed, more than just the tutorials, is that some controls, at least in my experience, are not that great, because if now I click here on Veteran, it skips to the intro. If I click here in Astartes to see the description, it skips to the intro. So I have no idea if just me things or it's just the game, but I guess that by changing difficulties, we are going to change the description here, like we are going to have more clips and things like that. So let's go with Astartes. See? No description. Strike Cruiser is a buzzing need fly to a Grox in comparison. Wow. Like some errant planetoid, the warp spawn conglomeration of ancient wrecks and stellar debris blocks out the star field for tens of kilometers in every direction. It is an ominous presence drifting through the void and the periphery of the Sargon system, a lurking threat with all the menace of the dead-eye ocean predator. Rightly was it named Herald of Oblivion by the Tallyman of the Ordo Xenos, for who knows what savage orc hordes or gin stealer broods lie hidden within its labyrinthine depths, waiting for the derelict to come within range of a fecund imperial star system or potential prize world. The shadowy masters of the Ordo Xenos have known of the Hulk's existence since it was first encountered by a rogue trader fleet within an outline system in the Segmentum Obscura. But it is only now Not many Earth standard months shy of 200 years later, that the Herald of Oblivion has been vomited back into the material universe at this time and in this place, thanks to the capricious tides of the warp and the fickle schemes of fate. So it was that the Imperial Fists strike cruiser Shield of Dorn, the closest Adeptus Astartes vessel within 6 weeks' warp travel of the Sargon system, was dispatched to assess the threat the space hulk posed to the Imperium and act accordingly. So we are on board of the Shield of the Dorn, investigating the Herald of Oblivion hulk. Smoke and incense fog. The stale air of the chamber has a gaggle of solemnly chanting tech adepts tend to a host of arcane mechanisms, under the watchful gaze of tech marine Brother Clavis. Do I just click? Yes. At a nod from the engineer manning the controls of the ancient teleportarium, powers word in hand, Sergeant Valerius addresses the space marine under his command. "Squad Scipio," comes the sergeant voice through your helmet comm. "We have been tasked with cleansing the derelict of any Xenos presence, in preparation for the insertion of the Inquisition search team. And so, now let us prepare for teletransportation." One by one, the battle brother of Squad Scipio mount the days, and take their position within the teleportarium. The first to join Sergeant Valerius is Brother Barathon, carrying the heavy flamer gripped in his hands and casually, as if it were nothing more than a las pistol. He is also the bearer of a number of sanctified plasma bombs. After all, none of you really know what you might run into aboard the derelict. Barathon is followed by Brother Kyle. The lightning claws he has the honor of taking into battle are treasured relics of your chapter. They crackle within barely contain esoteric energies as he flexes the long blade fingers of the venerated artifacts. Next to take his place is Brother Ordis. He is a temporary addition to the squad, and since he is an apothecary, does not wear Terminator armor like the rest of you. Instead, he bears the sacred tools of the Apothecarion, all contained within his Nartesium, as well as a chainsword and bolt pistol. As the most recently inducted member of Squad Scipio, you are the last to mount the teleportarium days. I have no idea what days is. It's like the platform, I guess. Sergeant Valerius turns to the tech marine marshalling the servitor and tech adepts monitoring the enigmatic machine's many controls. "Squad Scipio ready to teleport," he says, his commanding tones emanating from the external vox caster in his Terminator armor. "Confirmed," Brother Clavis replies, in his voice exhibiting emotionless, machine-like cadences, while the great servo arm attached to his back twitches nervously. At some unvoiced order that only the tech adepts pick up on, Brother Clavis' minions carry out a sequence of well-rehearsed maneuvers at the archive controls before them. A deep humming sound fills the air, vibrating the teleportation plate on which you are standing. The vibration travels up through your osmodula hardened leg bones, settling in the pit of your stomach. At the same time, tendrils of crackling energy crawl over the meteor array above your head. Brother Sergeant, the resonating voice carries across the teleportarium chamber over the rising hum of the emitter. Room for one more? Epistolari Radamus, Valerius says, acknowledging the new arrival with a deferential bow of his head. You honor us with your presence. The librarian is an imposing sight indeed, standing out even amongst the party of Terminators of the chapter's first company. Where your tactical dreadnought armor and that of your brethren is the sunfire yellow of molten gold, the primary color of the librarian's armor is the deep hue crystalline blue of lapis lazuli. He does not wear an helmet. Instead, his head, with its patrician features, close-cropped white beard, and dual-service stud, denoting more than 2 centuries of devoted service to the Imperium, is framed by the ceramite and crystalline lattice structure of a psychic hood. This arcane device helps to focus the librarian's formidable powers, whilst at the same time protecting its wearer from the attacks of the enemy psykers. On his left arm, Radamus bears a storm shield that in turn bears the clenched fist symbol of your chapter. In his right hand, he carries a mighty hammer. The Epistolari can channel his devastating psychic powers through this weapon, redoubling its already deadly ability to injure the enemies of the Imperium. What troubles you, Epistolary? Valerius asked, unsettled by the librarian's abrupt appearance. You sense a perturbation in the warp? A shadow moves upon the face of the Sea of Souls. Something insinuating itself in my subconscious. Whispers from the warp, the voices of ghosts and demons, utterance of prophecy and blasphemy both. A prophecy? Valerius almost gasped. About our undertaking? Indeed, Brother Sergeant. Something sinister is at work here. What do you mean, Brother Librarian? Apothecary Ordis asked, intrigued rather than anxious. I cannot tell you any more than that. The epistolary says, his eyes backlit by an eerie luminescence. Only that fate has plans for you. You suddenly feel the librarian gaze alight upon you. Kyle flexes his lightning claws, the simple action heavy with menace. If it is something I can kill, just show me the way, brother. Radamus take a step toward the teleportarium platform. I wish to accompany you to the derelict. In Dorn's name, you would be most welcome, Sergeant Valerius says, bowing his head once more. Let us hope so, the epistolary says darkly. As Brother Librarian Radamus joins your party on the beaming plate, Sergeant Valerius raises his power sword in a time-honored martial salute. Primac Progenitor, he declares, his words echoing from the metal walls of the sanctified chamber. To your glory! You and your battle brothers answer as one with the traditional response. and the glory of him on earth. Commencing teleportation sequence in the name of the Messiah, Brothers Clavis intones. The rising hum of the arcane device filling the chamber grows in intensity, as does the monotonous chanting of the tech adepts. You feel a strange tingling deep within your bones as the inscrutable machine begins to disassemble your body, your armor, and your implants one at a time, piece by piece, molecule by molecule, atom by atom. A juddering crash suddenly shakes the teleportarium to its very foundations, and several laminators wink out. The chanting of the tech adepts is replaced by panicked binary chatter and followed by a subsonic boom. The teleportarium activates. You brace yourself as the ancient mechanism prepare to hurl you from one discrete physical point in space to another via a precisely focused Geller field. One by one, in quick succession, your battle brothers blink out existence in a beam of searing white light. Taking a deep breath of recycled air, you close your eyes and wait for the teleport to transport you to the Hulk. There is a second juddering crash, and you are forced to take a stumbling step to stop yourself failing. We just left the Stargate. Even in your massive, heavy suit of Terminator armor, you open your eyes. You are still aboard the Shield of Dorn. The whine of the Geller field generators rises and falls as bars of eldritch energy crackle across the array above you. What's going on? You start to say before Brother Clavis silences you with an upraised hand. Brother neighbor, remain where you are. The Tech Marine's voice comes to you through your helmet comm. Yet another crash rocks the teleportarium chamber, dislodging century of dust from the curved metal ribs of the craft hull, forming obscuring clouds all around you. Something is clearly wrong. But what? And now we finally have to choose something. Get clear of the ancient teleportation device as quickly as possible, or stay as Brother Clavis command. Let's stay. I mean, I don't think it's stupid. Obeying Brother Clavis' command, you wait as unphantomable forces ripple and distort the air around you. Gradually, the epileptic burst of energy fades from brilliant white to a much calmer blue. Geller field stabilizing, announces a sweating tech adept from his place and a control lectern. Finally, the collapsing energy field dissipates altogether, leaving behind nothing but the stink of ozone in the air and an uneasy feeling in the pit of your stomach. Unease, yet, but not fear. For the Adeptus Astartes are untroubled by such pathetic emotions. Geller field stabilized, confirmed the Tech Adept. By the grace of the Messiah, the Tech Marine say. Brother Clavis, what happened? You begin only to be interrupted by yet another juddering crash. Shipmaster, the Tech Marine says, speaking to the dust-filled air. Status report. Oh, wow. Okay. The Shield of Dorn is under attack, comes Shipmaster Traba's stressed response of the comm. They came out of nowhere. Who did? Clavis demands. Pirate. Xenos scum. The shipmaster's voice echoes around the vaulted metal chamber. Elder, and the most black-hearted of their inimical kind. A host of other voices come crackling over the calm, sounding like they are echoing to you across space and time. They are the voices of your battle brothers carrying to you from whenever it is they have been transported to board the drifting space hulk. Then suddenly, the comm signal from the hulk cuts out. So, let me understand. So, some of us was indeed transported, but we are still here. Because he said, they are the voice of your battle brothers carrying to you from whenever it is they have been transported to board the drifting space hulk. So we are still here on the Shield of Dorn, and they are on the Hulk. All available battle brothers. A voice booms through the ship internal vox system. Prepare to repel borders. Not you, Brother Nabber. The tech marine intones as the teleportarium is bathed in the rippling glow of a tamed lighting once again. Power has been restored and the device is ready to fire. There is barely time to give utterance to your chapter's motto before, with a burst of actinic light and a roar like the death cry of stars, the teleport tears a tunnel through the space-time and hurls you through it. Okay, we did it. Wheels of Fate. What the hell is Wheels of Fate? Combat? Wheels of Fate. It's like throwing dice. Okay, dead. Fist. And dead. Destiny decide. What destiny? Your mind reels. The sensation of being turned inside out is replaced by an unsettling sensation of dislocation. I guess these decide how the story continues. As the furious light fades, you are left in near total darkness as your own heightened senses and the outer senses of your armored helm take a moment to adjust to the lower light levels. All around you is smoke and darkness. Your outer senses takes over, revealing your new location in a lurid spectrum of contrasting heat signatures. And that's when you see them. Coming toward you through the smoke and gloom are a number of unnatural monsters. Xenospawn. They are multi-limbed monstrosity, each one as large as a space marine. Thanks to years of battling the enemy of mankind, you recognize them immediately. They are gene stealers. Despite being full inhuman monsters, you know from bitter personal experience that the creatures are possessed of a malign cunning, incredible strength, lightning fast reflexes, and claws so sharp they can tear through Terminator armor. But something isn't right. Pure strain gene stealers possess all manner of unknownable senses, but judging by the way they are creeping through the grilled metal corridor you now find yourself in, they are, as yet, unaware of your presence. And then you realize why. You have teleported on board what would appear to be a rogue trade vessel, judging by the motif on display upon the metal rib of its hull. The ancient reactors that once powered the ship through the warp have come to the end of their life after who knows how many centuries. The gases and the heat they are pumping out as they fail is hiding you from the approaching aliens. However, it can't be much longer before one of them detects your presence, but for the moment, you have the advantage. So, once again, we have to decide. It's very good, man. It's very good, this game. I will enter into range combat with the Gene Stealers. I will charge the Gene Stealers and engage them in close combat. That could be nice since we don't have a lot of ammo. Or I will remain motionless in the hope that the Gene Stealers pass by without ever becoming aware of my presence. So I don't think this is the right choice. Space Marine don't hope. Because war would be our only hope. This is a quote from Star Trek Deep Space Nine. So this could be safer. I don't know, because here we should close distance, and we are going to do... I don't know if there is some strategic reasoning behind these options. I would like to do this one, range combat, because this means we are shooting without being discovered. If I move, in theory, they will discover me. So let's try this. Emerging from... Okay, we move anyway. Emerging from the smoke with a motor hold for the Emperor, you open fire. You Stormbolter, a physical manifestation of the Emperor's limitless wrath. You are facing off against 4 Gene Stealers. I always about to say Gene Stealers. Gene Stealers. You enter close combat with them immediately. Wait, what? Didn't choose the Stormbolter. So I choose Stormbolter and I get in close combat. Okay. And that's the combat system, guys. Of course, we have action points, so we choose the worst one, because now we have to change weapon, because we are already in close combat, as they said. So here we have the different weapons we can choose, and we can cycle through them with how many wounds they are going to give to the enemy if we hit them, with a percentage of chance to hit them. We can fire, we can move forward, we can redraw, especially if we don't want to face all the enemy in close combat. We can change the target of our attack with these triangles here. We can focus, increasing the chance to hit the enemy and decreasing the chances to be eaten by them. And each time we fight, this white counter start to fill, and when it fill up, we can release a strong attack. We have 40 wounds and 3 action points. So I don't think this is the best thing to do. No, let's go. We don't have the sword. Wait, what? Why? We just have the power fist. Okay, let's go power fist because it's the one with more chance to hit. Let's focus. And let's attack this thing. This thing, I guess. Let's go, see? Let's go like this. We have just an action, so let's focus in the hope that they will miss us. Okay, miss, glance, glance. Okay, so focus, attack. attack. Critical. Okay. Ouch. 2 damage. Glance. And we didn't kill him. Okay. So let's try this. Critic. Okay. Now, let's do this. I mean, first combat for Gene Stealers. That's really nice. Let's go like this. Let's go like this. Ooh, okay. Ouch. 1 damage. Glance, okay. Rah! Okay. And focus. Nice. Focus. Attack. Victory. The fight is over. Okay, victory. The Gene Stealers are dead. Their alien viscera and the stinking ichor that passes for blood among their kind plastered the walls, floor, and ceiling of the chamber. The space is little more than a widening of a corridor, and, judging by its construction, it is highly likely that it was once part of some Imperial vessel of order. Accessing the auspex built into your tactical dreadnought armor, you take a moment to sweep the local area, making sure that a host of the aliens isn't about to descend on you from the ventilator ducts above your head or burst from the maintenance channels under the floor. When the auspex reads clean, you consider your next move. So we are on our own. There are no brothers around us. In fact, the rest of the squad Scipio is somewhere on board a derelict, but at the present you have no idea where. So I guess we are on the Hulk, and we discovered that this Hulk, it was a rogue trader, ex-rogue trader vessel. Something is blocking your auspex. Sorry if I'm misreading some of these terms, guys. From reading anything more than 30 meters away. This could be down to something as innocuous as radiation shielding, or, alternatively, something altogether more sinister, such a xeno-created dampening field. Aside from your fellow Imperial Fists, there are also Gene Stealers on board. While the brood mind is still active, the Xenos still pose a serious threat. But if you were able to eliminate their broodlord, you could neutralize that threat. So, which is it to be? I'll we start searching from my battle brothers. I will hunt down the Gene Stealer's broodlord. I mean, I can't face it alone, and usually regroup and move together. Let's start searching from my battle brothers. Assuming that the Gene Stealers were patrolling away from the direction of their nest, you head in the opposite direction, monitoring the feed from your helm auspex as you go. However, the mission... Oh, fuck off. However, the mission you were tasked with before boarding the Herald of Oblivion was to cleanse the derelict. Allowing the Gene Stealer hive and his broodlord to survive is a gross dereliction of your duty and the vows you swore all those years ago when you were first admitted to the Imperial Fists Chapter. You lose 1 purity. Okay, but... First of all, we didn't take part of a debriefing where they said to us, okay, your goal is to go there by your own and destroy whatever is haunting this thing. Strategically, could be better to be at least in couple, because you can protect my back. Instead, no, I choose poorly. Okay, sorry. We lost one purity. Okay, we have to be laser focused on the mission. Freak. Returning to the place where you arrived after being teleported aboard of the conglomeration of warp-lost vessels and asteroids that formed the Herald of Oblivion, you scan again for your battle brother's life signs. The Auspex come back negative. Either they didn't teleport to the same location as you, or they have since set off on their mission, believing you to have been lost when the teleportarium malfunctioned. Accessing your helm comm, you try to counter the Shield of Dorn, but all you hear in return is the hiss of static and the sound of distant explosions before it cuts out altogether. Something blocking the signal. For the time being at least, you are on your own. Okay, maybe it was quite easy to understand that I would act alone. It seems likely that there is something about the construction of the vessel you are currently in that it's preventing your Auspex from completing long-range scans. Perhaps a leaking fusion reactor of radioactive mineral deposit in an asteroid bound to the craft somewhere nearby. You are able, however, to accomplish a three-dimensional scan of the internals of the rogue trader vessel you are currently in, which in turn enable you to locate a way out. Half an hour later, you emerge from the rogue trader vessel through what was once an airlock into an echoing pitch-black space. Activating your suit's searchlight, its beam pierces the gloom to reveal that you are standing inside what appears to be a vast rocky cavern. Suddenly, a designated marker tag flashes into being on the HUD, accompanied by a chiming alert. It only takes the Auspex machine spirit a moment to flag it a being that Apothecary Ordis. Your Auspex currently isn't picking up any life signs for any other members of Squatch Scipio, but they might just be out of range. You try your helm comm and hear nothing but static. According to your Auspex brother Ordis, cannot be more than 100 meters away from your current position, but you don't know what obstacles you might have to cross to reach him. You could, of course, attempt to boost the gain of your Auspex in order to carry out a more thorough survey of the area. Carry out a more comprehensive scan, follow the signal I pick up already without further delay. So, if I do this, I'm going to waste time, I'm going to waste another point. If I do this, he is going to die, probably, or I'm going to be ambushed. Let's try this. Okay. Probably we made the correct one, the correct choice. The Auspex bleeps and burbles as it scans the cavern and whatever lies in the darkness beyond the range of your searchlight. Slowly, the Auspex builds up a more detailed three-dimensional map of the cavern, the scan even indicating what the other vessel that formed the structure of the Herald of Oblivion might be. As you would expect, there are a number of Imperial vessels, everything from bulk transporters to a Retribution-class battleship, but there are also vessels grown of an alien wraithbone, other semi-organic craft, and one that might even be an Ikasaur doe. It's like V'ger. It would also appear that the way through Brother Ordis' location is relatively straightforward. However, you know that although his life sign is still registering, he hasn't moved since your Auspex first located him, and there is still no sign of your other battle brothers. The route you take to find the apothecary leads you across the cavernous heart of the trapped asteroid to a point where the blunt nose of another vessel has burst through the silicate rock wall. The impact must have occurred hundreds, if not thousands of years ago, and resulted in the hull of the craft being breached as well. Entering this vessel, you home in on the signal from your auspex, following the HUD display to the marker tag. And it is then, as your illuminator beam falls on the solid adamantium bulkhead ahead you, that you see Brother Ordis for the first time. Examine Brother Ordis. Even as you stare in horror and unyielding adamantium at the unyielding adamantium wall, the apothecary's life sign mark on your hood winks out. You are too late. Brother Ordis is dead. But then that is hardly surprising considering how he was clearly teleported into the very fabric of the bulkhead itself. Okay, at least he didn't die because we lose time scanning the asteroids. No doubt his internal organs became fused with the ship, and thereafter death was inevitable. The bone white of the apothecary armor is in stark contrast to the near black bulkhead. The crimson prime helix of the Ordis heraldry stands out as bright as freshly spilled blood upon an arm pauldron that protrudes from the bulkhead, as does Brother Ordis' helm and one leg. It is as if he became trapped whilst attempting to run through the wall. Taking the apothecary's helmet in your hands, you carefully remove it. Lifeless, Ordis' head tipped forward, his chin dropping onto the neck ring of his suit. You look again at the arm thrust clear of the adamantium and the archaic instrument attached to it. It is Ordis' Nartesium, his battlefield medikit. The Nartesium is no longer of any use to an apothecary, so you release it from its maglocks and then secure it on your own armor. A quick inspection reveals that Ordis had just replenished his supplies before joining the boarding party. There are unguents and medicamentum equivalents for 5 medkits worth. Oh, nice. I mean, I would prefer he be an alive one. Each time you use a medkit, you restore your wound score to its starting total. Okay, so we have to use them when we are almost dead. You might be too late to save Brother Ordis, but you might yet be able to preserve his gene seed so that his genetic essence might live in another battle brother one day. If only you can work out how to operate the reductor progenoid reclamation device correctly. Flipping open the cover of the mechanism control panel, you find yourself faced with an array of blinking runes. With a hastily prayer to the Emperor, you tap away the keys, hoping to stumble upon the correct combination to activate the reductor. My purity is less than 6, my purity is equal to or greater than 6. So this, I guess this is bad, this is good. We will discover it right now. Entering the code, you successfully activate the reductor. Okay, so that was good. Without a moment's hesitation, you plunge his wiring drill into Ordis' neck, feeling the clam teeth bite down the tough organ, you pull it free. Fortunately, you are also able to remove the second progenoid located within the apothecary chest. And we gain 2 purity, so 1 more, because we lost 1, we get 2. Secure both glands in one of the sanctified stasis chamber inside an artesium. Nice. There is nothing more you can do for Brother Ordis, and so are forced to leave, his body locked within the very fabric of the bulkhead. However, you are able to retrieve 3 clips of bolt rounds that are in the apothecary's possession. Each clip has 20 shots. Nice. However, as you progress further through the bulk cargo holder, following the only viable path open to you, your helm auspex begin to blip and cheer up with activity. Overlaying the information it is picking up on your helmet hood, a wireframe 3D scan of the Hulk appears first. On top of these, then appear the target markers indicating your battle brother's life signs. A feeling of relief washes through you as you see that the rest of the boarding party are all still alive, although they appear to have somehow been scattered throughout the Hulk. All except for 1. Your auspex has failed to pick up Sergeant Valerius' signal. Based on the primary scan downloaded into your auspex, Willis, you were still on board the Shield of Dorn, and from the information your auspex has picked up since, including the locator signals relayed from your battle brother suits, you know which direction you need to travel in to track each of them down. However, you have no idea what sort of environment you will find there or what secret those areas of the Herald of Oblivion are hiding. So, which of your fellow Imperial Fists do you want to try to track down first? Brother Kyle? The epistolary Radamus, probably this one, or Brother Barathon? So I guess let's go for epistolary. Okay, well, I guess that with this last crossroad, we can end here this video. Well, what can I say? It's very good. I really enjoy this kind of adventure because they remind me, of course, of those paper book, like the Lone Wolf or Prete Gianni ones, where you would play with the dices and like a single player Dungeons & Dragons. They were very good. I played a lot back then, and this digital version is very interesting, especially because it's set in the Warhammer 30,000 universe. So very good. It's a bit difficult maybe to catch from the beginning what you have to do, but maybe it's just because it's just a me problem. Maybe you are more accustomed with this game and you would have picked the best answer, let's say, to the first crossroad without losing any points. But this is also the interesting, one of the many interesting aspects of this game. You never know what's going to happen. And of course, it's very important how the adventure is written, because it's what makes the adventure great. It's nice to have also this part of fighting. It's not heavily rely on the fighting for what I saw so far, so it's good, because it's one of those games where you are not passively receiving all the information, you know. Your mind has to create the universe through the words, and this is usually one of the best things, you know, because today we are so accustomed to have all these graphic in super realistic graphics that basically don't give you the opportunity to imagine things. But here, yes, you have the text describing things, but then you have to create your 3D environment inside your mind, and to me it's very enduring, it's very interesting. I really like this kind of games. So I'm really happy that Robbie decided to gift me this game, because I really like it. And there is also another thing, sorry, by going forward, there is also the chance to die in this adventure, because you never know if what you decide to do is going to be the right choice. So maybe in the first crossroad you choose the wrong decision, you take the wrong decision, and you were already dead. So it's very interesting, I mean, there is a lot of mystery and hype. Very good. Guys, let me know what you think about this game down in the comment. And remember, as usual, that if you like the video, you could like it, subscribe, and leave a comment, as I said. As usual, I'm Captain Roy Lovat, and you are dismissed. Cheers!